Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is Proverbs 135. The proverb today is different strokes for different folks. Okay, let's take a look at the note here. The proverb can have several slightly different meanings. It can mean different people like different things. Different people do things in different ways, or different people like to have different types of lifestyles. Okay. Let's continue. Ironically, the origin may have come from a quote from the old-time famous boxer Muhammad Ali. If you're old enough, you remember him. He was very, very famous. He was very big in the 1960s and 70s, really very close to up to around 1980 almost. He was one of the best boxers, heavyweight champion boxers in the world at that time. But anyway, let's continue. When explaining how he fought different boxers, he said, I got different strokes for different folks. Okay. Basically meaning that he had different methods for fighting different opponents or different boxers. In this quote, the word stroke could also have, a second meaning or another meaning. Stroke can also mean to hit or to punch, or to hit someone with one's hand, or an object. So that's why it was perfect that it kind of came from him at that point. There is no earlier citing in writing, and this phrase caught on after this event. So it is possible, he might have been the one to coin it, or we don't really know for sure. He never claimed it, and maybe the phrase was around at that time. It just wasn't in writing yet. But anyway, that was the earliest citing that could be found of it. Okay. Then in 1968, Sly and the Family Stone had a big hit. Yeah, this was another band. They had a big hit with the song Everyday People, in which different strokes for different folks was part of the chorus. Yeah, so like, I'm everyday people, different strokes for different folks. That's the way the song actually went. And it was a big hit. It caught on. I think even in the 1980s, there was another singer, Joan Jett, made a remake of it too. So a number of people, I think, did this song. So it was very, very common. But we say different strokes for different folks. And we often hear people repeat this, again, to mean just like any of the meanings that I said up here, that, different people like to do things in different ways, or different people just like different things. All right, let's continue. In 1974, Volkswagen, car company, Volkswagen, followed with a catchy ad that stated different Volks, V-O-W-K-S, for like Volkswagen, for different folks, meaning maybe they're trying to say they had a selection of cars, and they used this in one of their ads too. Okay. Finally, in 1978, and I do remember this when I was a kid, there was a TV show called Different Strokes also, in which a rich white man adopted two little black children. I think he had supposedly a daughter of his own too. And the wife was gone in the story. I don't know exactly. Maybe she died or something. But that was another one. They say different strokes. Now this different strokes actually goes with different people live in different ways, He probably could have easily, adopted, other white children, but he decided to adopt black children. Maybe he thought they needed it more. So this was another way that, we say different people live in different ways. Nowadays, it's sometimes also used for, people with alternative lifestyles. We might say that different strokes for different folks as well. Okay, let's go on. And here's just one example we give here. They just like to do different things, different strokes for different folks. This is typically the way we might say it. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it was very informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.